It's just kind of fire.
Yo, everybody hear me okay? How we sound? Dr. Specimen, do I sound okay?
You're just fine. You sound fine. You did lag for a moment there,
okay.
but looks like that got over pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I'm on one screen, man, and when I'm doing the flipping flopping from each screen, it lags. So I ain't gonna do too much flippy floppy of screens. Usually I got the I got the whole setup, man. But today we're not in the setup. What's going on, everybody? Nick Moses 05 Gaming Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. Specimen. How you doing, sir?
Dr. Leaker, I might even add. Not doing too bad.
Yeah. Yo, that's good, man. I want everybody to know if you're tuning in, we do got a great show. We're going to try to make it real fast, condense all the information for everybody. So we're not going to take up too much of everybody's time, okay? This is going to be a real exciting show. Now, so much has developed since the last time we did a video.
This was first of all, Nick was on here, I must say.
Yeah, you know what?
That's not a call out. Just saying, hey.
Yo, and I got some things I'm going to go over too, man, because it's so much we're going to go over with MigSwitch. We got some unreleased things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about UnlockSwitch response to MigSwitch, and we just got so much to cover, man. So I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So before we get into all that, there's one thing I want to say is announcements that were brought to me. It's something I want to bring to everybody's attention because it is dear to my heart. And look, tidy up. Yo, man, leave me alone. I'm working, man. That's a working bookcase right there, okay? These have stuff in them, sir, okay? They get worked on. And no, that's my daughters. Don't say nothing, okay? But we work on it. We work, man. It's good you have a bookcase and it's working,
I just saw you working in that right before the stream started. What are you talking about, your daughters?
Hold on, man. Don't make me do it. This ain't me, okay? That ain't me, all right? That's a little girl right there. She is into books as well. Right, we try to always keep all the kids smart, but nonetheless. So I wanted to talk about this, and I don't want to get too serious, right? Because I have a feeling if I get too deep into this, I might go nuclear. I'm gonna be honest. I have a feeling I'm gonna go nuclear. I don't want to get too upset while I talk about.
Whoa, what's going on? Where'd he go? What's going on with my?
Should I just look like that the entire time?
Maybe.
like I'm just so disgusted by what I just saw. Nah, man, y'all ain't see that, man. Don't even worry about it. I don't know what the hell just happened, man. Ignore what the hell just popped up on the screen, man. Don't even look at that.
Hacked. I don't know, man.
Don't read that, y'all. Don't read what was at the bottom of it. That's all I ask. Don't go rewind this episode either and go try to read it like you probably missed some of it. Don't even waste your time, bro.
We're definitely gonna cut that out of the VOD. 100%.
Yeah, we'll cut it out. Y'all don't got to worry about that. Don't go watch that again. We'll cut that out. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yo, it said Big Daddy Max on there.
That's definitely the worst joke we've ever done. By the way.
Yo, that was Yo, Big Daddy Max. Yo, I have to say this, man. You know, first I want to, before I get into this, because I know I'm gonna get like, it's gonna be nasty work when I start talking shit, and I don't want to be making anybody feel bad. I just want you to know, if you know I'm not talking about you, I'm not talking about you. If you have like, I don't know if he's talking about me, I might be talking about you, and you can ask.
You went robotic for a moment there. I think you were still audible.
All right, okay. Can y'all hear me? Am I good?
I think you're good now. Damn, man, the haters are even hijacking the stream. The DDoS.
I told you they had. Hold on, here we go. I'm gonna do this, man, because right now I see what's happening and it's slowing down things. So I'm gonna stop a couple things, and you're gonna notice that it's gonna slow down a bit. So just bear with me. All right, there we go. We'll stop that, and we'll stop this. Okay, good. So that should help some. Okay, but anytime I flip back and forth, like I told you from screens, it get crazy. So one more before, because I know it's gonna do that pop, lock, and drop it again. Okay. All right. So let's get to it, man. Am I pop, lock, and dropping still?
Nah, you good now.
There we go. Okay. So, y'all, it's been something on my mind for a while. I have not spoke on it. Haven't spoke about it in a long time, but I've been wanting to talk about it. I just been waiting for the right time. And I don't even think now is the right time, but I don't give a damn. I'm going to talk about the shit because the shit's on my chest. And y'all ain't never seen this side of Nick Moses before, right? So I think I need to go ahead and get some things off first before y'all start seeing that side. First, I want to thank everybody, man, from the bottom of my heart. There's been a lot of people who've been supporting us from like way back in the beginning. First started this channel doing Xbox 360 tutorials because I got tired of customers asking me damn questions. Then it went on from Nintendo Switch tutorials dealing with SXOS, Team Executor. And I don't care. Still shout out Team Executor. Yeah, I rock with Team Executor, all that. Hey. You know, I got to get in check, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, still shout out Team Executor and all that. And after that, man, it was like, yo, they got locked up and then covered that and everything. So I want to thank everybody for that. But we got to get to the real issue. Yo, do y'all know how much work goes into this shit, bro? I don't think people know. When you're a small creator, and Dr. Specimen knows, when you're a small creator, man, you really got to work, man. You got to bust your ass. I know Dr. Specimen. I know you got a life. I got a life. We both got lives. And we be doing... Yeah, you do. You do, sir. I don't care what you say. You have a life. And we go about our lives, and we try to bring you guys as much news, content, whatever we can. And this is outside of our normal lives. And then I got other platforms, too. I know Dr. Specimen has other things. So... we try our best, but as a small creator, one thing we lean on is support, man. We lean on people's support, those likes, you know, commenting, coming back and watching again. We lean on it. So that's why I wanted to start by saying thank you to everybody, because I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. None of this shit is happening without y'all, and this goes to everybody, okay? Now, time to address the bullshit. So, I know when Gary interview first started hitting the news. Now, Dr. Specimen's one of the ones that actually messaged Torn Freak. I believe Eugene was one of the ones that posted the article. Multiple people started posting articles. It went all over. What'd you say?
Was it Eugene or Ernesto?
Why do I keep saying there's somebody else named Eugene? Ernesto, my fault. Ernesto for Torn Freak. Yeah, you asshole. Yo, Ernesto. Shout out to Ernesto for Torn Freak, okay? But it went all over. That shit went all over to the point where I was driving home from playing basketball, and I got a call from one of my homies like, yo, bro, you was just on my feed. I seen your face. So I'm like, oh, shit. Pretty big. Had people all over. I think it was Yahoo Finance. IGN. You name some of these articles that mentioned us. It was amazing. Now, I bring that up to say, when that was happening, there were multiple platforms that was not paying any homage. Y'all, they was literally stealing the interview, taking screenshots from certain parts, putting it up there, and were not mentioning anything about the channel. Now,
can confirm it was Ernesto, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So, one thing I can say is that I know who these people are, and I held that in. Never said nothing. I just let it go. But there have been most people. One person I spoke up on is Moist Critical, and I want y'all, for all those who be on Twitch, for all those who like to clip stuff, clip this for me. Moist, you a bitch, okay? You steal content from small creators and can't even mention the name. And I know you stole our shit because you cropped it out right at the point where it said Nick Moses 05 Gaming Podcast. You even read the article that mentioned us. And then the other article you got just happened to be the one fucking article that didn't mention us. Moist, you too fucking big to be doing all that lazy ass work. So stop that shit. You a bitch. And I'm going to say that directly to Moist. I want y'all to clip that. Please clip it. Send it to him. Nick Moses05 said Moist is a bitch for stealing content. If you want to steal content from small creators, why don't you pick somebody bigger? Go somewhere else. Don't fuck with our shit. How about that? You bitch. Okay? My fault. I told y'all I was going to get a lot out of character. And I'm going to try not to get angry. That's what I said. But I knew this was going to happen. So, nonetheless, he was one of many. There were many people out there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say names because I want to give a warning. I like to give a warning first, right? To let everybody know I'm not going to be letting this shit go for long, right? I'm going to start calling you out by names. Now, that was just a Gary thing because we want to make this quick. We got news to get to. I don't want to just rant, right? That's just a Gary. Let's talk about MigSwitch. I seen everybody who was hating, and I seen everybody who was supporting. I seen those when, by the way, when the MigSwitch unit came in, Dr. Specimen, you could testify. JP was the first one to receive his. Shout out to JP. I was one of the people that said nobody could have did that video better. I wasn't sitting here crying, oh God, I didn't get my MigSwitch first. I can't put a video first. I didn't do none of that shit. I saluted the man. That man did a video that was a great damn video. What do I look like being a hater? I saluted him. Okay? Great job on the video. When we did our video, we went live and we did a video. No big deal. I'm not crying a fucking river. We did a video. But there were multiple people out there who covered that, did not mention our names. Again, now UnlockSwitch comes along. There are certain people that I spoke with, that I talk with, who every time news comes from this fucking channel don't bring up our name, but they constantly get the news. I'm tired of you fucking stealing shit, bro. We too small. I cannot deal with y'all stealing shit. As a small creator, this shit is big to us. We're trying to grow. Now, I understand if it's just, you know, I'm not asking you to fucking goggle me or whatever, but at least you can say is, you know, information from, I heard it from, say a name, anything, bro.
And listen, I want to interject with something real quick because listen, I'm the kind of person where, listen, I like seeing Nick speak his mind, and that's all good. But I'm the kind of person where, you know what, I've got enough going on in my life that I could take the back seat on this. It doesn't necessarily offend me personally as much. But with that said, I have to give a big shout out to not only Torrent Freak, who has credited us. Now, I don't think they put anything out since the Gary interview where they would have needed to credit us. I might be wrong on that.
Cool.
I read Torrent Freak occasionally, but not often. So I might have missed something. But there's Torrent Freak, and then there's Wololo. Now Wololo may disagree with me on this, but I would almost say Wololo is a partner in a way. He's not directly affiliated, obviously, and none of that kind of stuff, but he has been incredibly kind to us as people. He's spoken to us as people, not like as, some journalist talking down to us small people. No. But he has spoken like a gentleman. He has cited us at every moment. He has, I would argue, even glorified us in a couple areas, and we never asked him to do that. He did that. He did that on his own. He credited us. He basically took what we've reported on, wrapped into a nice little box for the masses to be able to read through. They don't have the time to watch a long stream, and everyone's happy at the end of the day. He's linked to our videos. He has said our names, Nick's name, and my name individually, even though personally, I'm not necessarily saying to stop doing that, but what I will say is, look, I think Nick, you might even agree with this, that the Nick Moses name has sort of morphed a little bit into talking about our whole family. But really, when people are citing us in that way, it's talking about you and me. It's talking about what you and me, have reported on. So they don't need to cite me. If someone's like, blah, blah, blah happened on X podcast, people will just say on the blah podcast it was reported that.
Simple.
All they would have needed to say was on the Nick Moses 05 podcast, blah happened. But instead, they're saying our names individually. They are going the extra mile over
Yep.
at Wololo.
They are.
So I need to, I feel like they need to be not only separated from this in the statement that you made about if you don't think you're part of this, you're not a part of this. They need to be individually called out as
I
the
like
gold
that.
standard
I agree.
in how to do
I agree. And by the way, now that you said that, Wololo also, not just with us, way before us, they have many articles where they had to come back and make corrections once things change. They're very big on trying to stand by their work, which I appreciate. If I make a mistake, I come out and say I made a mistake. Wololo does it. I can't. You're right. That would be the gold standard. And you know what? We ain't gonna spend too much time, but like I said in the chat, somebody will ask, because right there it says cite your source. Somebody will ask me, well, hey, why don't you guys cite your sources? Right? You getting information from UnlockSwitch and Mix. Why don't you guys? Well, you know why? Because if we cite our sources, we might not have a source anymore. There's a big difference.
There's a difference between
Big difference.
publicly available information and repackaging it and not citing, and being a trusted outlet to publish information. You're not publishing, you're republishing information. When you take something like our video and amplify it, or take the info from it and subtract us from the equation, that is republishing. It's also plagiarism, theft, etc., but it's at its core republishing. We are publishers. We republish. We have republished plenty, but we have recently become publishers, getting new information out that people didn't know. We leaked the information on the MigSwitch 2 before anyone knew. Now, people could have easily guessed, I know, but no one would have been able to specifically guess, oh, short press for the next game, long press for the previous game. We didn't guess that. We didn't bullshit that. We were told that by a trusted individual, and we reported on that, and we were correct.
Correct.
Cite us.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna just snap on you. Said it better. You said it best right there. We were correct. So if you doubt it, right, or oh, they're bullshit, or whatever, why was the exact same information posted that we stated days ago? It obviously wasn't bullshit, was it? So all I want to say is to everybody out there, I don't know what it is. I don't want to say the things I think it is, because everybody know probably what I think it is, right? I don't want to say that. That's simple. That's low-hanging fruit. I don't know if it's jealousy, envy. I don't know. I didn't ask for this shit, bro. And Dr. Specimen can testify, I was shocked as fucking hell when I got a MigSwitch unit. When I got unlock, this shit is shocking to me.
My fucking harassment of the MigSwitch email on 2 different emails, by the way. And Nick, I think you sent an email too.
I did.
Got us a response. I was expecting to say, you guys have 3,000 subs. Fuck off. We're going for MPG and Mr. Mario.
Yeah, nope. We want to get the biggest people. No. And another thing is, I don't know why it is that people feel the need to do it. And people do it all over. So I don't want to make it seem like it's just us, right? Because all channels deal with people stealing some sort of
Y'all
content.
Remember the Dead Cells review from IGN? They stole that review from Boomstick Gaming.
There you go. I'm glad you stated that. Happens on all fronts. So I don't want to make it like it's anything specific to us, right? But one thing's for certain, we are not IGN. Okay? We really are looking to grow. And in order to grow, we have to start getting tight on certain things. So when people start posting things, we might have to say, hey, bro, could you cite us? Could you say something? These are really helping us build the channel, and it's vital.
I need to also make a point, too, because, and I might be wrong about this, but I almost have a feeling that, Nick, if you never reached out to Gary and did your interview, And
When
I
did this
never
happen?
sent your in. Well, not even that. Well, no. Think of it. No, I have an even better way of thinking about it, more relevant to this specific topic. That if I then never sent that email to Torrent Freak and they never published an article about it, that none of the other interviews Gary got would have happened. I don't know if Gary's
Yep.
soliciting interviews on his own necessarily,
Yeah, we don't
but
know.
we had a big part in letting the media know that, hey, this guy's open for interviews. We were the first person, well, you, I should say, because I wasn't a part of it. So I'm going to fully say you were the first person to interview him. And then other media outlets went, oh shit, we can contact this guy and he'll want to talk about it. And, I know that a lot of people knew, you were the second person to point out the bookshelf. We knew what Gary was going through. We knew about what his sentence was and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, people didn't really give a shit because all of that info was well known while he was in jail. And there was a lot of time between him going in jail and coming out of jail. So by the time he came out of jail, people didn't really give a shit until you interviewed him and he was
Preach.
able to, with his own voice, which not many people had heard up to that point, with his own voice was able to describe the pain that he had to go through, that he will have to go through for the rest of his life with
Yep.
this fine from Nintendo. And no one else would have been able to capitalize off of it if it wasn't for your interview and your ability to make that known to the wider world of journalism.
Thank you. And you know what? I love the way you broke that down. And that is why I call Moist a bitch, bro. Literally. Like, I don't even do that. Y'all know that ain't me. Moist Critical is a bitch. If I seen Moist, oh my goodness. I wouldn't even want to say, I don't want to go to jail, right? So I ain't going to do nothing physical, y'all. Don't even do that. Don't do that, okay? I could, but I don't do that, okay? But Moist is a bitch. I'll say something to his face. I call him a bitch. I'll try everything I could to get him to do something. You know
Well,
what I mean? Like, cause I don't like it. It made me infuriated, bro. And I've held back, and there's other channels too. But the reason I want to mention Moist is because Moist was a direct. I actually want to do a video on how direct it was. Because I could actually show the articles he used, the references he made, where he cut off, and how he formulated everything to purposely take the content from us. And to be that big, one of the biggest Twitch content creators out there, to be stealing and to not give credit, you're a bitch.
well,
I
and
don't care. You're a bitch.
let me again. I just want to say something I want to make clear too is that we are a small YouTube channel. This was Nick's channel up until about 6 months ago when I joined the team, so to speak, right? And to a certain extent, I feel responsible for this sort of getting turned into sort of a scene news channel almost. And I don't say that from the perspective of, oh, look at how cool I am, I turned this into a scene news channel, but more so from the perspective of, I feel responsible for kind of just coming in and changing shit around. Things went downhill since then. Yeah, damn right. Everything's just been worse since I've joined. Everyone's leaving. No, but in all seriousness, though, but we have gone in 6 months from just a fun channel talking about shit going on to actual journalists. Because I'm sorry, Wololo, there's a reason why they have about 50,000 Twitter followers and
Yeah.
why they probably have a lot more people that are like subscribed to their newsletter or that go to their site on the daily. They earned that reputation. There is no other way to describe Wallow than journalists and a news website.
Yeah.
So when they have the ability to say that what we reported on was confirmed insider info, and then you go and click where it says insider info and it takes them to their article where they say that scene members Death Specimen and Nick Moses
Yeah.
have insider info, and that this was announced and planned, but it was announced early because of what we did. That is journalism. That is news. And even if it wasn't journalism and news, it should be cited. But I was taught that. I took a fucking class in my first half of my second semester of senior year of goddamn high school on journalism. And the first fucking thing we talked about in a high school level journalism class was source your shit. Cite your
Yep.
sources, I should say.
Yep.
How is it not hard to do even just I don't give a fuck if Wololo MLA cites us or
Yeah.
whatever. Fuck that shit. MLA is stupid. All they had to do was just put at the bottom. You could put it in 2-point font
Yep.
with the ugliest font and the most
Anything.
unreadable color.
At least I can say it's there.
The YouTube link. Yep, I could say, guys, look, if you go to, and this didn't happen, but if I had the ability to say, guys, if you go to this Vice article and you go to this really specific part of the page and click, you can hear my voice. Quite frankly, that'd be some cool shit. At the very least, and at best, it's like, damn, I got a bit of clout I can get off now, and I can get my voice, Nick's voice, up to higher people, and we can do better, higher things with this. But
Yep. Preach.
apparently, high school level journalism practices has flown over the heads of a lot of people.
No, you preach it right now, man. And we gonna move, and just so everybody know what we gonna be doing moving forward, we gonna start putting watermarks on our shit. We gonna start doing all type, because I seen pictures taken and distributed that came from our shit. What's going on?
Should I give an example of what that watermark would look like?
You know what? Let's go. You know what? Let's dive into the other subjects. Why don't we? Should we start with MigSwitch or should we start with the images? What would you like to do, man?
I think we should start with the images. So that
Let's get to the images here. So everybody who stayed, thank you for staying, listening to, we had to get some shit off.
Listening to our crazy ass.
Yeah, mostly me. I ain't gonna lie. It was mostly me. I've been sitting here pissed, bro.
Here's
tired of this shit.
I'll say, and then when I'm done saying this, I will click the button to share these images, right? You all know that despite my crazy conspiracy theories, I try to stay level-headed. And even when shit's going dumb, I try to either A, stay objective and forward-facing, or at the very least, I try to stay calm about it. But I've, and I even just said earlier in the stream, I'm like, this doesn't upset me nearly as much, and it doesn't,
Yeah.
but to see, number one, how much this pisses Nick off, and that pisses me off. Nick's a friend, full blown. Like, we might think he's like a business partner or whatever. You might give us a bunch of.
We care about what happened to each other. If something happened, we worrying. You know what I'm saying? That's friendships.
But even outside of that, because it kind of hit me as we were talking about this, this impacts our ability to grow when we're not getting cited for the stuff that we do, because it's not easy. We had to jump through hoops, we'll say, and that might not be the right phrasing. Nick internally, you might disagree with that phrasing, but it took a lot of work on Nick's end. It took probably less work, but it took some work on my end to be able to talk to the people we talk to get the information we get, to be able to be entrusted with free versions of cutting edge. Think about it. Nick got a free version of a cutting edge quote-unquote hacking device. We'll use that phrase because guess what? No one had a way before the MigSwitch to screw with the game cards and load unauthorized game cards. Nick was one of the first people on the planet to be able to do that. That takes a certain kind of trust. He worked his ass off to get there. And you might say, oh, it's just the scene. Well, that seems to be a big concern for Nintendo. They seem to not like us very much. So when our movement is a threat to a multi-billion-dollar company, I'm sorry, I think we need to be paid attention to, including these images right here.
So, now that image right there, Dr. Specimen, can you break down for us what we are looking at?
The UnlockSwitch V2. And you can see where that button is mounted right up there.
Dag. Now, there is a line of these. Are these direct fresh off the press?
I believe these are. And you can see, here we go. We got where all the items are going to get placed. That's going to be your ESP32. That's going to be your lattice ice. Your button's going to be set right up there. Probably going to have your light somewhere up there. You got your, I think the JTAG programmer port is down there so that you can flash this, because this will not be coming with software. Their software will be distributed through other means, and you will have to manually flash that to your card, which will, in many ways, now it's not going to be perfect, and in my opinion, this is a flawed way of doing it, but it's an understandable one with some of the stuff that's happened, is that not having software makes the copyright issue way better for UnlockSwitch compared to how MigSwitch, you get a firmware built in your thing. Now, in my opinion, I'm just gonna throw this out there. And I haven't looked this up, and I probably should have. There's about a
What's that?
99.9% chance that this card design is patented. So they're probably still committing some sort of patent infringement, I must say. Now, is that a big deal? I don't know. Is it really going to get seized at customs? Probably not. But the thing is, you do take out the copyright aspect. There's the patent infringement aspect, and before anyone comes at me, anyone who really likes UnlockSwitch, it's like, come on, bro, you're giving the feds ideas. Nintendo already knows this. They probably knew coming out of the gate that a card that they're going to come with a custom card shape. No card is this thick, this specific size. A card shape that it can get the physical aspect if there's no firmware included. Um, by getting the patent infringement, and if there's software on it or people are distributing the software for it, they can get that on copyright infringement. Nintendo knows this, their lawyers know this, the feds know this. I'm not telling them anything they don't know. I'm telling you guys that if you buy one of these, there is a very small chance that it could get seized because this happened. This happened with the SX cores. That
Mm-hmm.
it could get seized because the ICE or something is looking out for them. Just because they got some warning from Nintendo about, hey, if it looks like this and it has this sticker, you can't let it go through. It's an unauthorized card. That could happen.
Oh.
Or they could get taken down if there's a U.S. distributor for these. They could get taken down for selling patent infringing products. Anything like that. So just that's something to keep in mind. I don't think their whole no firmware thing is going to work out as well as they
Yeah.
hope it would. But
Now let's discuss. I want to ask you about that. So, what is your opinion on the shipping a device without anything on it versus shipping devices included with firmware already on it? Because that was a big deal with SX OS and the SX Pro, right? A lot of people were saying the SX Pro was coming loaded with the license and firmware and everything included. And that was what made Team Executor such a hot commodity for the feds. Do you think that matters at all? Because to me, if I'm on one end, right, I don't care if it's this way or that way, it still does the same thing in the end. Is that
well,
something you could say, or is UnlockSwitch better prepared because now we have a programmer? You have to program it yourself. You're now putting the liability on the consumer.
so here's the issue though. This has been a theory I've wanted to test for a long time. As
Okay.
if I had the balls to be a distributor for any of these things, if there was a product that came out of the gate without saying we're not including firmwares, that's going to be distributed separately through another channel,
Yep.
I actually might be willing to sell that, and I bet I would be safe for either a lot longer or probably forever
Forever.
if I was only selling products that didn't come with a firmware. The problem again is this has patent implications because there's no patent infringement issues with HW flies.
Yeah.
You buy a Molex NAND connector. That's a Molex NAND connector. That's not Nintendo's connector. That's Molex's, as far as I'm aware. And they're not really going to give a shit. It's just a connector. That's really all that's got going for it.
Yeah, I hear
Um,
you. It is
and I,
patented.
and I don't I
Yeah.
don't I don't think Nintendo really has the ability to get a product taken down or sued for or anything like that because of dimensions that just so happen to line up with the internals of one of their devices if it's not coming with code from the device or pieces of hardware from the device. Now, I it might be wrong
Mm.
about this, but I
That's
do
a
think I
tough one.
heard
Yeah.
I do think I heard someone say something about like if it's clear that the designers of the device had an intention with it to
Yep.
do some sort of illegal activity, it doesn't matter how you slice it. Oh, it doesn't have firmware on it. It's not violating copyright. Oh, it doesn't have any Nintendo writing on it, or it doesn't have a Nintendo piece of hardware in it or anything like that. It's not
He
infringing.
sounds just like him.
Right, but everybody looks at that and knows that is a Nintendo Switch mod chip. You're not going to get an RP2040 in that shade and then use it to power an RC car. And if
Thank you.
someone's done that, it's one person to do it as a jackass reason to prove a point, not because they actually find the RP2040 SX core clones a more user-friendly version of the car of the RP2040. They get the regular RP2040 boards, or they get those really fucking tiny ones that are like just the
Yeah.
just the RP2040, some test pads, and a USB port. So,
Yo,
you
you are
know,
hitting it, man. You killing it right now, man. Go
now,
ahead.
now,
I agree with you on that.
when the hardware is decentralized, that's when you've got a different issue. Because what's nice with the RP2040s is if I'm a guy trying to get a lot of money from people wanting to mod their systems, I could still open up an RP2040 shop that just sells the generic boards, but maybe I open some shadow accounts and I start advertising it on certain boards. And I got the
Mm.
VPN and all that. I'm just saying, like, hey guys, for those who want to do the RP2040 mod, it looks like this website does overnight shipping for $10. You guys should really buy from them. And guess what? That's how you get to the hardware market without having to worry about all these issues, because you're just on regular RP2040. It's nowhere on your website says anything about Nintendo or mod chips, and it truly is the real deal. And you just got to know where to get the software. But when you have something clearly purpose built like this, I just
Mm-hmm.
don't think you're going to be able to get away from it no matter what. Maybe if you get arrested for it, you drop a couple charges. Maybe you don't get 40 months and millions of dollars, but you're still probably going to get 20 years and or 20 years, geez, 20 months and a couple 100,000 in fines. That's still not great, in my opinion. You're still a felon.
Yeah, you still a felon. You can't shake a felony, man. All right, now,
We do
Dr.
have a couple more,
Specimen.
by the way.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go through. I remember you saying, okay, all right. Here we go. Another lot. Yo, these are now, Dr. Specimen, these look official, man. These look for real. This don't look like no bullshit to me. I don't know. Then now, I've been hearing people talk about UnlockSwitch, and I want to mention this because we're looking at these screenshots now. There are people who believe both MigSwitch and UnlockSwitch are frauds. I've heard people say MigSwitch is frauds because they're not really shipping out the shipments that they stated they would. And I heard people say UnlockSwitch frauds because they're not showing physical products, a lot of artwork, a lot of screenshots, a lot of pictures, nothing that's concrete. Dr. Spencer, let me ask you, these screenshots to me look very authentic. Even if, I'm not sure, if it's real, but it looks real, right? What would be your take on it? Would you say that's real?
I think it's real. I mean, if I had to guess, they could be doing, because they didn't say that they're going to start selling to customers anytime soon. So it's possible that this is going to look a little bit like what they had done with the original set of units, where they're just printing like 50 and
Okay.
they're going to send them out to the reviewers, let them do their independent tests, and then they'll get the. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, this might be the full production line. Let me see again, because
And that's why I mentioned that because it almost looks like this is pretty much when you're in there, man, you're cranking them out, bro. Like they got a whole lot of sheets right there. I mean,
if so, okay. There is 7 in this row right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
7,
and then there's 1, 2, 3,
4 rows, it
4.
looks like.
So that's 7, 14, 21, 28.
28.
And if we assume that these are also by 7, then that's 35, 42, 49. And they said they'd have 50 units. So my guess is that they've got another one of these sheets. But if you look, actually, I'm wondering, can we see if it goes 1, 2, 3, 4,
3, 4, 5, 6,
7?
7.
They don't like. I can't see any
Yeah,
farther
the picture
down.
cuts off. It cuts off right there. Damn. But yo, you know what? That's why I asked because I'm gonna be honest. I hate to say this, man. It almost feels to me that UnlockSwitch is moving at a pace that MigSwitch is not. That's what it seems like, man. And I don't want to say because I don't know. You know what I mean? I hate not being in a factory,
Oh yeah, I
right?
forgot I had this one. This is the back of the.
Let's take a look at that.
This guy's got a fucking Galaxy S24 Ultra or something. Jesus.
Peep out, Mom Duke's in the building. Mom Duke's was popping. All right, popped up in here. See her son wilding out. You would have seen me cursing folks out a moment ago, Mama. I was calling Moist Critical a bitch. I wish you was here for it, Mama. By the way, I got to keep it real, my mama. I got to tell her. You know, for she go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? I just had to tell her.
Now, real quick, Magnus in the private chat of the restream, he asked if that was the
Okay.
dumper. This is not the dumper. This is the programmer to program the chip. So you this right here, I'm thinking either a micro USB or a USB-C port will go, and then over here will be their. It's not proprietary, but it's not like a USB. It's like a flex cable of some sort that'll plug into there, and it'll plug into the board of the unlock switch, and then there'll be a Windows software, and I say Windows software because I think they said somewhere on
I
Twitter
think they said
it,
something about Windows too.
that
I remember.
there will not be a Mac version, so you will need a Windows PC that you will run the software. It'll communicate with this programmer, and it will flash your unlock switch. It's sort of like you can think of this as like the Namdex, the JR programmer.
Yeah.
You hook it up to Cool Runner. You hook it up to J Runner. Hook it up to J Runner, and then J Runner flashes your Cool Runner. God, those names, Team Executor.
I know, man. Remember those days, man? The J runners, the Cool Runners, CR2, CR3, CR4s, fucking JTAG, Reset Glitch Hack, iExtreme Firmware, let's Light Touch. You remember all these names, man?
Yeah,
Gosh.
and also Magnus said they're going to send a programmer too. Yes, every unlock switch, and this is included in that $30 price point, as far as we're aware. In that $30 price point, you will be getting this programmer included. They're not going to
Damn.
they're not going to send you a blank card and then say you're going to drop it for $5 or $10 to get the programmer shipped separately with a separate shipping price. Nope, you get the programmer, you get the card. You will, as far as I'm aware, need to buy their dumper separately though. So
Okay.
that's still a thing.
That's
But
cool.
if you are like me, and it's not a lot of people, but if you're like me, where you don't like carrying all your fucking games around, and you already have a hacked switch, you're not going to need that. You're not going to need the dumper. Now, the thing is too, and here's my line of thinking, right?
Yeah,
If
let's
you
do it.
already bought a MigSwitch, this is my personal opinion. You already bought a MigSwitch, and you haven't bothered to cancel it. What I would say is write it out, get your MigSwitch, buy the UnlockSwitch's dumper, buy their dumper if you need one. If you thought originally you were going to get one and then you realize you got gypped, just write it out and buy the UnlockSwitch dumper. Because you know what? Here's the thing, okay? We try to stay neutral here. We've been critical of both sides for different reasons,
Yeah.
but we try to stay fairly neutral. So, what I think would be an objectively good protest purchase. I'm not going to say whether or not I would do this. And here's the thing: I'm getting one of these for free. Okay, that's the thing I also need to make clear. But if you wanted to make a protest purchase, you would tell MigSwitch why the fuck did you just randomly change that there's not going to be dumper anymore, and you buy the cheaper dumper from the competitor that didn't take a single goddamn dime until they were ready. Sure, they got a lot of publicity. Here's the thing, and this is something I kind of want to say to the people that are giving UnlockSwitch a lot of shit. Like, oh, they're just as bad as MigSwitch. Okay,
They out
MigSwitch
there.
took money. They took money not only before people realized that they were going to have really terrible stock problems, but they took money before they told people exactly what they were getting. They changed what they were getting. UnlockSwitch has had a bit of a roller coaster with what they're going to be including, what their device is going to look like, etc. But didn't take a
Take money.
goddamn dime until they were ready. And they still aren't taking a dime. So you might say that they're being too slow. Who the fuck cares? They haven't taken your money. You turn Twitter off for 2 weeks, come back and see if they've updated it. If not, turn it off for another 2 weeks and come back. It's not
Preach.
hard.
Preach. Now, now let me ask, do we have any more? Is that the last screenshot?
I believe, yes, this is the last, or there might be, is
Do
this
we
the
have
last?
another one?
Is
Well,
it?
if not, I'll just pull
Yeah,
up the
there is this one. This is the last one, though. It's just the one on the back. But
okay.
nothing really
Okay,
interesting
it's
on
just the
here.
back of it. Yeah. Ain't nothing special. But everybody got to see it. These pictures are watermarked, and you guys heard what I stated before. Okay? So feel free. Go ahead. Just know what might be coming afterwards. Okay. And if you mention it, cool. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'll come and comment. Thank you. Share it out. I'm a everything.
Ooh,
If I
Nick.
see something else, It's marked here, but anyways.
I did not bring this up to you, so that is my bad. However, there is
All right,
something that I wanted to show real quick.
go ahead.
So I updated my MigSwitch recently to firmware 1.1.4. Now,
Ah,
now
yeah, I know what you're talking
you
about.
know where I'm going with this. Now, first off, something
Yep.
I want to mention. I've been having an issue with my SanDisk Extreme Pro. It's the gold one,
The
the
gold one.
UHS 3 one,
Yep.
where it is not generating my NX index for some reason. Now, something I found: if you get an NX index from somebody else and put it on your SD card, it will work. I had a backup when we were doing our testing with
Nice.
the serial number stuff, with that beta firmware. I was having issues with it, I had kept the backup of my MigSwitch's NX index when it was working. So I just put that back on, and it all of a sudden started working. So if you're having an issue with that, and this will go for when the UnlockSwitch comes out too, maybe it'll be the same deal with that. Try doing that. Make a if it ever works for you, back up your NX index file, and then if you're having issues later on, try restoring that backup. See how that works out.
Bam.
So,
Nah, I
um,
like that. Now, what I'm gonna do, man, is I'm going to pull up now. We're gonna get to
wait,
let's get
Nick,
to some more
Nick,
of the meat and
I was
potatoes.
I was sorry, real quick. I was gonna show the thing you were thinking of, but I wanted to bring that
Oh,
up.
you want to show? Go ahead. Go ahead and show it because I'm getting mine ready right now. So while you
All
doing
right,
that, I can get it ready.
perfect. So this is what the NX index file looks like now. They added a lot of stuff to
There
this.
we go. All right, good.
So what I want to start
Now
with
I'm ready.
is that, speaking of watermarks, they actually watermark the NX index now.
Yep.
They added
Finally.
MigSwitch.com to the bottom. Now above that we have the firmware version that's been there for a
Yep.
while. I think
That
the
was there.
point like firmware 7 or something.
I
Or,
think so.
they might have added it, something like that. Now above that, here we go. Right
Mm-mm-mm.
here is the Lattice and ESP serial numbers. It's the exact same place
Yep.
that it existed in that beta firmware that we were using to check them. So they've implemented that now into the official firmware. So, um, I guess at the end of the day, if these clones get, well, actually, no, even better, you can actually. Okay, this is a thought I had.
Go ahead.
If counterfeit Switch games start coming out and they're based off the MigSwitch, you could totally start sending. If MigSwitch wants to put a stop to this, now it's up to them if they want to put a stop to this. Of course,
Yeah, I
who
know,
knows?
right? They gonna be
They don't
getting.
have to give a shit. But if they do, they could totally use this to see if they can sniff out who the fuck is making these counterfeits. So that'd be an interesting thing. But two, you think maybe you got a fake, a bunch of these clones start coming out, and maybe maybe you can figure out if you actually just got upcharged for a MigSwitch or something. So that's useful.
True.
Why there's a bunch of empty bytes here? I guess they're going to use this for something later, but I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
they have this just writing empty stuff. These two, I don't know what they are, and I don't know what this is either. These are some other things. The thing is, this is all encrypted.
Yeah, it's. I was gonna say probably
Um,
won't be able to tell.
actually, they've got a bunch of stuff here too. So, okay, what I've
It's a
heard,
shit ton of different stuff, bro.
well, so what I was told by um somebody, and I'm not saying somebody because I'm trying to keep them anonymous, although I might prefer that, but I actually don't remember who told me this. But someone had speculated that they actually had already added the button code into this firmware. It's just
I
not
can
like
see that.
it's just not useful yet because no one has a buttoned
I could
flash
totally see that.
card. Or no one has an official button flash card except for that one guy who made a video about it and they didn't fucking tell
Yeah.
anyone how to do it. But other than that, so yep, just thought I'd mention that they're a little more brazen with their DRM now.
Agree. And that's good, man. You know what I mean? They still ain't contact me back, you know what I mean? So just so everybody know. But yo, let's pull this back up. So we didn't go over this yet. We will. I know many of you have probably seen it. We'll just speak on it real fast and go over it because we going through
Nick,
all this news.
I did
What's up?
technically talk about this the other day.
You did? Okay, cool.
That was
Well,
a legend. Now you're here, so we should still talk about
so
this.
we'll
But
discuss it. Yes, okay. But this here is the picture with the sticker. Notice our picture had it without the sticker. Now they dropped all this. It's pretty much the same thing we said, so it's really not much different based off what we already reported. But they did post that, okay, about the MiG version 2 card. Now, Dr. Specimen, was there anything in here? I'm not even going to read through it, but was there anything in here different than what we already stated?
yes, there was
Okay,
something that we were not told. Now, nothing in
let's go
here
ahead.
was different, but there was this thing at the bottom. V1 owners don't need to
The
worry. Their
worry,
card will
the
be
car will be
updated
updated.
exactly as the V2 and will have the same new features as V2 coming with future updates. Only the
Game
game switching
switching
method will
will
be
be
different.
different.
Now, okay, now one thing, now this is something I just realized. Maybe what they meant by that was that, oh, the game switching method's going to be different, as in you have to do the eject thing on the V1, you have the button on the V2. But what I was hoping for was that they were going to be able to say sell a button add-on for that with that JTAG port that's on it, where they could maybe, because and then the exact analogy I used in when I did my stream the other day was kind of like the Zaptor. Now I think kind of sucked from what I was aware of, but
Oh,
all you had to do was shove the legs in the holes
I
and
was
it
gonna say and
worked.
close it up. Yeah,
So
shove it in there, close it up, and you should be good.
so what they could totally do is they could sell an upgrade kit. Now this assumes that the JTAG port would be
I
useful
know.
for this, and maybe it wouldn't be,
Hmm.
but they could sell a thing for like $5 or something that comes with a new case for the MigSwitch with the hole cut out for it, a button, and all you do is plop the button in and
All
click a
right.
holding bracket in or something, and there you go. You have a button now. My other hope was that maybe the lattice has some kind of sensor in it, so that if you tap it on the top, or because the MIG DIY thing you saw, there was that swipe gesture.
I know that
So
swipe gesture. Yep.
could you put some other sensor in that could, I don't know, maybe the button acts differently, where it's like it kills the power to the chip or something, which effectively acts like the button on the V2, and
Yeah.
so it's slower, or maybe you can't go back, you can only go forward, but it's still kind of, I mean, I don't
Yep.
know.
There's
but
gonna be
but
something to it, but and my guess was that it was just going to be a different way to do it, but it wasn't gonna have a button. But like you said, there's something there that can be
but I'm
able to do it.
thinking, now that I think about it again, I think what they're saying is that they're going to be adding new features in general,
There you
and
go.
the game switching isn't going to change. You're going to be stuck. But the thing is, quite frankly, I'm getting that unlock switch, and I might just not touch my MIG after that.
Yeah. Bro. Yo. So now I got that. I wanted to pull that up because I want to go right on to the next one, right? Which is UnlockSwitch's post right after that. Okay. Now, UnlockSwitch posts, they had two posts. The most recent one we will go over, which is what they posted today. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. If not, we will be covering that. But we're going to talk about specifically these images. Okay. Prototype images.
Fake, fake, fake.
And then, you know what? That's all we've been hearing from a lot of people. It's just like, it's artwork, man. It's just color artwork, man. It's not real. It's totally fake. All right. So here we go. Now, Dr. Specimen, let me ask you. Someone sends you this and say, hey, I got a chip coming out, bro. Look at it. And they send you this. Do you believe them?
Mm,
Just off that. Now, we already know they got other stuff, right, to back it up. But let's just act like UnlockSwitch came out of nowhere. They just popped up. They showed you these. Would you believe them?
I don't know, because I don't do circuit design personally, so I wouldn't be able to. If there is some total bullshit on this, I wouldn't necessarily be able to sniff it
Be able to
out.
catch it. Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like something a competent person would put together. So, oh no, that definitely is USB-C. Thank God.
Yep. That's beautiful, too. We need, come on, everything's USB-C now. You know what I mean? Please, not no micro USB crap. We don't need that anymore.
Wait, go back to the programmer image real quick.
All right.
So there's strap and chip PU.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if chip power update or
Yeah.
something, like maybe that you
It's
press
something.
that button to put it into update, like it's a DFU mode kind of thing. But then what's strap do? That was
We're
something
gonna
I was
find
really.
out, man. We're gonna find out very soon, I'm sure. Now, UnlockSwitch also said they have a post that they're gonna be doing tomorrow. I believe they mentioned that somewhere in here. So let's just go through it real quick. I hope your dumper comes out at the same time. Otherwise, people who don't have a modded switch won't be able to dump their games. Also, people who have a modded switch probably aren't interested in the product in the first place. Don't disappoint us like MigSwitch did. Right? All right, we got a couple comments, but they said we're working on it. I can see from your PCB layout that you added an antenna switch card with Wi-Fi. They gave a thumbs up.
I did just look back, by the way. They did mention that at least one of those buttons was the official, like, click this to put it into update mode button, essentially. So, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
you may have
I
been
just
right on
don't know
that.
what that other one is.
Yeah, the strap. Yeah, I have no idea. Now I'm hoping this isn't a proprietary connector. Nope, the programmer connector. Look at them.
It's sort of
Ooh.
like for an analogy, it's like the flex cable ports on the SX chips.
There
They're
you
not
go. That's what I'm looking for.
proprietary. It's just that if you don't do like circuits or internal design like that, they're going to look proprietary because they don't look like a USB port or a printer port or whatever, but they're not really. If you look up like
Agreed.
6-pin flex cable or what, like I broke the flex cable on my SNES Classic Edition, and I just had to look up 6-pin flex cable, and I was able to buy a pack of
And
10
get
for like
another one. Yeah.
$5. So
Yeah. Now you got a bunch of them in case you need them. So when you want to play a game or select a game, do you have to eject the card? No. It looks great. Shout out to Egg too, man. Egg was one of those that's getting the unit. Big shout out to Egg.
we're getting real
Do
close to them. Seriously, he's a good man.
Nah, Egg's super cool, bro. Do you eject the flash card to cycle the games? No. Wow, one question. Does the flasher connect directly with the chip or a cable is included? Cable included. Right? One day, cards like the UnlockSwitch or MigSwitch could hack the console with a program injection or have an interface for selecting games. We know what that sign is.
What is that, the spy one or?
Look, it says deaf person.
I was leaning
Yo,
back in my bed. I couldn't see exactly what it was.
yo, it says deaf person. That is so hilarious, bro. All right. What's the black piece? Is it a dumper or what? The programmer. Will you be able to program it with Mac? No. Windows only, what you stated before. Why would you need a programmer instead of putting a file in a micro SD card that flashes the firmware? I don't get it. Monday. Right? So this is the post I was talking about, where they mentioned it. Now, I really wonder where Mig got the idea from the button on their V2. Here. And they showed their post. Looks sick. Console hacks. Shout out console hacks too, man. I go ahead and give you one, man. Even though he said, look, more artwork. Really? I like them both. I rock with them both too. That shows you I ain't got no hate in my blood, man. You know what I'm saying? I rock with them both. I like console hacks. Console hacks was talking shit about us at first, but he cool now. I suppose, you know what I'm saying? Cool, right? And that's how I be. You talk shit. We talk like men to men. We talk. He cool. I ain't got no problem with you, man. You know what I'm saying? We go ahead and straighten that out. Now, there was one I wanted to see about. I have the MIG, or most likely get this one as well to test the differences. I was wondering if there's a way to use these to get into recovery mode to install CFW. Wow. People are reaching, boy. I love that one. So, now that's enough for that one. I want to go ahead and pull up what y'all been really waiting for, man. The shit talking. And you already know this post right here. Let's pull up the one post, because this is probably going to be the main one we're going to go over. Let me share it now. I couldn't even believe when I seen this posted, man. Yo, so.
Oh, right, this.
We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. So, I don't want to read UnlockSwitch first. I want to read the actual email. So, from my understanding, I know this. Every time you get emails from MigSwitch, you will see this at the bottom of your emails.
And that's how I knew because they sent this to me too, real quick. That's how they're getting emails from them. I don't really know. And then I saw that they put that. I'm like, holy shit, they're actually emailing with them.
Yep, they're emailing. So,
MigSwitch.
Yeah. Hello. Just a quick email to inform you that we know resume accepting orders, which will be MigSwitch card version 2 only. We no longer produce the version 1. Price remains unchanged and delivery are starting in June. Now, we already know a lot of people are giving them shit for any time they promise any dates.
Hey, didn't they say in December that they'd be shipping in the next month? It's May. Guess what the next month is? June.
And I ain't even got to read. I know people are talking shit about that. People with pending orders, do not worry. You are, of course, first to be delivered. As always, we work on a first-come, first-served basis, and you will receive MigSwitch card version 2. Your orders are automatically commuted to a new version. We wanted to inform you all because reviews are coming next week, and we know there will be another huge surge in demand. I don't know about huge, but, shout out to they feel huge. As we now or we have now really the product every Nintendo Switch user was waiting for. We want to remind you that we strongly suggest to only take pre-orders for the amount that you ordered from us. We will stop accepting pre-orders at some point in June because we know the demand is higher than our production capacity. We were hoping to be on a same-day delivery in June, but this will happen probably only in July or August from what we see from the thousands of emails we receive from end users. We insist on this point because if you take too many pre-orders, it will just cause issues with customers who will be frustrated with the long wait. We apologize for those delays and accept our responsibility. We hope you will also be careful on your side. Okay, I'm not sure what that meant, but all right. We will also be more careful and stop accepting your orders when we see we reach our production capacity for June, which is around 160,000 units. So orders will be shut down faster to also be responsible toward you and deliver in a timely manner. Once all units are ordered, we will stop taking orders immediately. As far as MIG Dumper, there is no change, but stocks are also coming in June. We are also resuming taking orders for it. Stocks are limited to 10,000 units for June. Finally, you will find attached to this email some high-res pictures of new MigSwitch card in high resolution. Now, we're going to read UnlockSwitch part, but I want to first go over that. Couple things, and I'm going to keep it real because I want to pull back up and we're going to read UnlockSwitch. I just got to get this off. Couple things to MigSwitch. One, I'm glad you put out that email, MigSwitch. I'm glad that you kind of took responsibility. Kind of. You know what I mean? I would have liked to see it be more direct, more of a bigger apology, right? Because telling people that you're promising for them to wait another day. Let's just unpack this in fully. And I'm gonna do this for everybody who has MigSwitches pre-ordered or whatever, right? So MigSwitch, no offense, I rock with you. You ain't give me no dumper. You know, it's all good. I'm still kind of hating on that. But they are sitting there with version 1 units. Do you know how many people I seen in the comments, and Dr. Specimen, you could testify, that said, I just received my unit today. I received my unit 2 days ago. I received my unit last week. I received my unit 4 days ago. You know how that feels, bro?
I even said in the video I did where I'm like, or the stream I did, I'm like, there's gonna be somebody who they're gonna get the fucking knock on their door right now.
For real.
And they're gonna say, oh wow, I got a package, and they're gonna be looking at their MigSwitch as I'm in the middle of talking about how they're putting out a new unit already.
Yo, and as people are receiving theirs, do you know the sick feeling? Now, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather my distributor keep my version 1 and send me a version 2. If so, distributors, I don't know what, I know y'all gotta handle biz, y'all gotta make money, so I ain't gonna even put this on y'all. That ain't y'all problem, right? I don't even want to put that on y'all, because y'all don't know how shit gonna come in. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of come in. But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try to cancel their order. So imagine they're waiting on a MigSwitch version 1 right now. They're going to cancel it and just reorder again. At least then I guarantee I get a version 2. And I heard there were people trying to cancel and they were getting chargebacks. Or they had to do chargebacks because they were not having their orders canceled. Not sure about that. Okay.
Wasteland Walker, can you repost in the Discord where you said that you just did shorts and pins? Because I tried doing that for like hours and couldn't get it to work. I took a real game card and did that.
And Petrix, I see you there. Wasteland, good to see you, man. Everybody.
Hey, shout out to Petrix.
Yeah, I've been trying to get to the comments, but I had to screenshot.
Shout out to Petrix for having the coolest name in chat. Personal opinion.
Yeah, Petrix always been rocking the name, man. That name has been just straight. I ain't gonna lie, probably one of the coldest out. We had a couple cold names out there, right? But Petrix, I give you that one, man. Now we're gonna go ahead and get to UnlockSwitch, what they said.
Generally, dead things are pretty cold, so I'd say I have the coldest name, but you know.
Yo, literally. Yo, we've just received an email that's filled with hilarious, blatant lies. Refusing to acknowledge public failure after attempting to undermine a genuine competitor leads to resorting to public deception. 160,000 pieces? Why not 1.6 million? It's quite amusing trying to maintain the facade. How do you say that? Is it facade?
Facade.
Facade. Damn, facade is, that show you I don't use facade. Trying to maintain a facade of standing strong. What a performance. We had a good chuckle here. Your production is quite the comedy. Thanks for the entertainment. Jim Carrey from Liar Liar. All right? and that is to their letter. Now, I want to ask people, is this below UnlockSwitch? Should they go high? You know how we have the things, remember Michelle Obama had, when they go low, we go high. You know what I mean? Should UnlockSwitch go high? I don't know. A lot of people,
Well,
I'm going to actually
here's
get
the
to
thing.
some of those responses to that, but they went straight to the jugular. And this is the first time we've
Listen,
seen one of them just go, bam, straight
call
at it.
me call me childish, and I am a little childish, and I've said it before. I'm 19, right? So I'm not the world's most mature person, but
Okay.
I think when they go low, we go high is kind of bullshit. Now, maybe in politics, maybe in international diplomacy, but these are two fucking piracy flashcard manufacturers. If you want to boil it down to the most kind of fucked up way you could put it, there's two piracy flashcard developers. No one gives a shit if anyone goes low or high. So here's the way I would say it. If I am UnlockSwitch and I am fully convinced that I was slandered as a scam by another company that I am maybe suspicious is a long-time scener with certain connections and certain capabilities to be kind of like what we were talking about, to be able to do whatever the fuck they want, and then we're just some little guy that's like, we could do this better, these guys don't know what they're doing. And then I get slandered like that, and these guys have a web of distributors that they could send out, emergency emails to and get people like you and me to report on it. I'm not going to give a fuck about my demeanor. I'm going to go out and say, you guys are the biggest dumbasses on the planet with that response. You guys are a bunch of crooks. You guys are a bunch of fake Russians. Suck my dick. And you know what?
That's how UnlockSwitch kind of came off. And they didn't say it, but that's kind of what I felt. I felt that. You know what I mean? It was definitely SMDs in there. They didn't say it. But
so Wasteland Walker, by the way, real quick, he just told me what the cards or what the pins were. He said pins 1 and 2, you short those. But I think I
and big shout out to Wasteland.
Salute.
And while you're doing that, while you're going over that, I'm gonna just pull this up again here because I wanted to just go ahead and go over some of these responses because I ain't even go over the responses, but you get a good feeling.
So okay, I'm gonna quote real quick. I gotta quote Magnus here. Magnus is in the private chat. Yeah, we tried pins 1 and 2. It didn't work. What it did was it froze the card. It still showed it as connected, but if you tried to access it, the switch would lose its shit. But it wouldn't disconnect, and therefore would not be able to swap the game out with that. So
okay, all right. So y'all tried it.
So
okay, now. Goose says, I emailed them Friday and they told me I would have my unit within a week. I have my doubts. I think it would be hilarious if you opened pre-orders and I got your product before I got theirs. Although I would also be upset at the same time. It's been 84 years. Right there. Now, it's a lot of different MigSwitch. Okay. At first, when you guys started, MigSwitch accused you of being a scam. Right? We were part of announcing that. And a lot of things from what I know. But now it turns out that after showing seriousness and great activity in this project, they got their act together when many people did not receive the cartridge or support. Ooh, Alejandro. I am not sure. I can't speak Spanish. I wish I could. Only 10,000 units of a dumper? How are people supposed to dump their games without a modded Switch?
Portuguese, not Spanish.
That's Portuguese? Okay, thank you. I didn't even go any further. I just read one word, so thank you for correcting me on that. It's hilarious since they are trying to pass their product as a backup solution. But it is obvious that the focus of their product is piracy. They are not even trying to hide that shit.
Yeah, why does it take so long for them to get a dumper out? Why are there so many less dumper units than cart units?
I will agree with that.
Okay. Why are we pretty suspicious that these are the same people that were making dedicated piracy products that were being advertised on websites with SD cards, including video games, and a way to hide from Nintendo that you were playing said pirated video games?
Oh, man. And I actually might be cool with some dudes who might have had some issues, dealing with that shit. Good morning.
You're totally fine. Here's the thing, though. What you can do, if you have a game, a Switch game that you don't care too much about, dump it. If you have a hacked Switch, make a dump of it, make a backup of it with your files so that you can play it on your Mig later. Because this is what I did. And then do some text. I don't have my tools right now because I'm not at my university and that's where all my tools are. But honestly, try some tests on your own, man. And that's not me saying like do it on your own, man. I don't care. Like seriously, I don't have the ability to right now. If you're able to do the test, that would be sick as fuck. And maybe you will find some combination that works. My hypothesis was that you had to do more than 2 pins, or you had to do something where it was like you had to completely kill the FPGA power, so that the switch was effectively getting no response. Um, so
Yeah.
that was my initial thought, but maybe you'll find something different, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Test.
no. I completely sacrificed my Labo cartridge. It's fucking destroyed. It still works, but it's never.
We
I
know
don't
how
think
that
it's ever gonna
is.
be able to play legit again. So
Yes. Snow's Code. How can UnlockSwitch work without MigSwitch ESP not even being cracked yet? That's the thing, Snow's Code. Has it been cracked yet?
it, there is effort being made. I don't know how far it's gotten, and I don't know where UnlockSwitch is on it, but they seem to be kind of homegrown this because, like I said, they were thinking it out to be that this next one isn't going to actually have the same chipset. Now maybe it is because I actually even just said like, it looks like it's going to have the same chipset, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But either way, if it does have a different chipset, well, it can't be the exact same code as far as I'm aware. So.
And Blizzard Fox. I mean, it could have been cracked by Unlock, and they're just holding out until they make their sales. Otherwise, the moment it goes public, clones will run rampant. Wasteland, totally understandable. I have a few Walmart games. I don't care. Yeah, we all got those little $3, $4 games that we go through. Nelson, what's going on? Good to see you. My dog. That's my dog. We go way back. Ajax. Now, Mig_Switch. I don't know who this is, but they said, good morning, baby. Please release a 3D modeling file about the version 1 shell.
The version 1 shell. If I can buy one, you want mine? I'll throw that into a CAD thing. I don't know.
As we now really have the product every Nintendo Switch user was waiting for. Ha ha ha. Don't make me laugh. That was from Sam.
Damn, that's cool.
Wasteland. A dog Wasteland right there. Wasteland said, this is truly Mig's downfall, and not gonna lie, I love it. Design Gears. I had to initiate a chargeback with MigSwitch to get their attention because they refused to acknowledge my request to cancel the order. Whoever runs the sales email over there threatened to report me for a fraudulent chargeback. LOL, bunch of clowns. You're the clown. Says, I trust you guys will make them fall. Are they Russian based? If so, they lie like their leaders. Ooh, Mr. J, that was straight to it. If y'all don't announce orders and immediately ship, y'all both are a bunch of clowns. Dang, that was the dud. Now, what else happened on there? Tired of this drama shit. I just want a quality product quickly. Damn, okay, dud, I feel you. I feel you
typical,
right there, dud.
typical Americans. They want them quicker, faster, cheaper.
Shit. Okay, all right. Well, look, I'm going to say it like this, man. All right. Me personally, how I feel about it is it's very weird for me in my position because I'm going to keep it 100% honest with y'all, bro. I'm not even going to sugarcoat shit. When MigSwitch first came along, had no idea about anything. And as they were messaging me, I did feel some connection there from me originally sending that letter to Gary. I just feel like it all comes back around. And like you said at the big, I think you said way earlier, if that never happened, maybe none of this happens, right? And I think that's the best way to say it. So I was riding hard for MigSwitch, man. I actually want, I want them to succeed, as crazy as it may sound. Not because, they could be using this money bogusly, bro. They could be doing, I'm not for that. Like, I don't want to say, like, I'm hoping they bank on shit. But I wanted this to succeed for the community, for the scene, for us to all have more things to do with our systems. That is it.
And we're not professionals at this. I think that needs to be made very clear because we actually do, believe it or not, try to stay somewhat neutral. Now, there's some stuff where, I'm sorry, we're not news reporters, we're not politicians. There's just shit that we're objectively going to laugh at. Unless you're directly involved in the creation of it, there's just stuff you're going to look at, you're going to be like, that's fucking, hilarious, or that's stupid. There's a lot of people that are just objectively going to look at UnlockSwitch's response and go, this is some unprofessional garbage, what the fuck? And maybe I look at that and I go, well, I don't really care. I disagree. But at the end of the day, I kind of have to look and just be like, you know what? None of that matters. I don't care if you
It
think
don't-
I don't care if you think it's unprofessional. I don't care if you think it's completely justified. At the end of the day, we're supposed to look at this as just like, hey, it's their response. What was the substance of it? What could MigSwitch do to respond? All that kind of stuff, and that's what we try to do.
Yeah, we do.
Um,
Alex, I see you. What's up, Alex? I see you. And snow's cold. I like what you put there. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull that up because we always with the bullshit. We like to address everything. We like to get straight to it. What do you think about that? He said MigSwitch stated they haven't taken profit, that they put all the money into production. Now I'm gonna say snow's cold. I wish to say that was true, but I'm not gonna lie. Not just MigSwitch. If any business told me that, I would think they're lying. Right? That's just me. Now I'm not on that business side. It is possible that they can be taking every dollar, putting it into production. I don't know that. But one thing I know for certain, it doesn't cost that much to make the chip, right? So how much does it cost to make one of these things? Dr. Specimen, if we had to guess a price, what would you say per unit? Per unit.
$20,
$12, $15, $20, $30. How much you think?
20. I said 20 originally. That's probably way high. I'm guessing five, not five, $10, 10,
5 to 10. That sounds about reasonable, right? 5 to 10, because then if I sell it for 25 to 30, I'm making a decent profit. If I sell it for $60, I'm making a hell of a profit. So that means one unit is I mean, I'm not good at math, but what's the percentages on that profit? It's just fucking nuts. You know what I mean? So your profit margins are great. You know what I'm saying? Like the profit margins there are excellent. So you have to receive some sort of, and then there were pre-orders, right? So you got pre-orders on top of that. Now I did hear, these are some things that I know we've heard. We've heard a lot of things that's happened on the back end. We've heard that there was a distributor that had units stolen or something like that a long time. Like they never got them. They actually were taken. So that's hurtful, right? That hurts a lot of consumers who are waiting on their units. It's not the fault of the distributor. Stolen has nothing to do. Now, are they lying? I don't know. I ain't in it. Okay, but that's what's being said. So I don't know, but it's possible. I don't like to count no other man's pockets. It's possible they could be putting every dollar into production. Me, myself, I don't believe it, but I don't know. All right, now, most confusing part is stock is short, always short on distributors, but not on AliExpress. Alex, that was funny. Also, on Reddit, I found that might belong to DIY or DIY. Okay, it's strange. I Google backwards search the images posted by them and no results popped up. So it's highly likely it's the same person. Oh my god.
Now, something real quick I got to say too. If you look at all this stuff going on with MigSwitch and console modding, you're just like, this is all just a lot of shit. I don't want to deal with any of this. I would much rather just, have a device that's open, easy to
And
use.
be able to buy it and play it.
I say you just pick up a little Steam Deck and play your Paper Mario through your
Get a Steam Deck and
throw the mods on there. You got 60.
Hey, they gonna come for us next, man. They got Yuzu. They got Yuzu already. We next.
You got the 16 by 10 aspect ratio. You got a mod in there.
That do look. It look like it's playing smooth though. It look like it's playing smooth.
I gotta get that real close. You can see.
There you go. Colors nice, popping out. That look good, man.
Oh,
that look good, man. And that's a Steam Deck. You know Nintendo ain't gonna like that, man. Nintendo ain't gonna like seeing that. Hey, you know they watch our shit too. They watch us. Yo, now Snow's call issue isn't part cost. It's the cost of the machines to make them. Now, all right, so let's talk about that.
No, because
let's talk about
Max has had these machines for years. He already paid them away.
I was just gonna say that. A lot of it is some of these people already have machines that have been making these things for a long time. It's not like they just purchased them right now. Then also, let's say if you are paying for the machine usage, it varies on who you're using as a distributor. There are some businesses that can prorate you prices if you use them for a certain amount of time. A lot of things vary on that. Once you start getting to a certain amount of units too, I'm gonna give you another prime example on that. The price or the cost of the use of those machines vary from 50 units to 10,000 units, right? To 60,000 units, to 70. The higher you go, the lower those prices are gonna get. So a lot of that varies. But it is included. That is something you have to include in that. The power that's being used for them, distribution, all that, right? But I will say, when you got connects, and when you got connects with the certain people, you don't pay those full prices that people normally pay. Let's just say that. All right. If we're taking into account the ESP and the FPGA, if you're buying in bulk plus custom PCBs, $10 per unit. Okay, that's a good estimate. That's kind of what I like that, Blizzard. Okay, Blizzard said about $10 a unit, which that's a hefty profit. Okay, to get close to Unlock, as you can see, there's a post where they talk a lot and it's weird. Yo, I'm trying to get my refund for the MiG since it took too damn long. No response, John Doe. You see that, John Doe? Fed up, MiG. MiG, we here. And MiG watch, by the way, y'all, just so y'all know, I know people from the MiG team watch. I've been told. So
and the thing
please
is,
get your shit off. Let them know.
We don't want to shit on them if we can avoid it, but the thing is, people are pissed.
They are, and we are here. Like, okay, so let me play both sides of this real quick. I would be, for anybody that hasn't received a version 1 yet, I'm in one side, I can be like, I'm a little happy for you because you get a version 2. But how would I be happy for you if you didn't get your version 1? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't be happy for. I can't even guarantee you gonna get your version 2. But one thing I at least say is that they took a little responsibility and they are doing version 2. They did not, though, at one point still say that UnlockSwitch was faking. I almost think they believe them now. I don't think they because that would be the statement, right? Hey, they're still lying. They're still lying. It's not. It ain't like MigSwitch didn't come out and email and said our competitor's lying.
I almost wonder if MiG wasn't, they weren't bullshitting. They were genuinely convinced it was a scam because of what they were saying. And maybe now they're like, oh, fuck, we're screwed.
For real. Like, imagine you thinking it's a scam, and then as certain information gets to you, you realize, yo, this ain't no scam. It's not. And these dudes really have it. Now, one thing I'm going to state here, and this is a great talking point, and I got a lot of people here who could be able to elaborate on this. Let us know, okay? And Unlock and MiG need to listen up for this one, okay? So, Unlock has put in their tweets about Wi-Fi being inside of the card, right? I'm not sure if it said inside, but they said with the card. Somehow, at some point, Wi-Fi was one of the directions they're going. I was told, right, that this wasn't possible because the Switch game slot, cartridge slot there, is a Faraday cage. And that anytime you would try to set up a signal in there, it was so poor that it was pretty much useless. And that's why it's impossible to be done. Now, I don't know how Unlock might have done it. Unlock might have done it. Hey, I don't put nothing past nobody. But that's why I was told it was not something that was implemented originally and that people were working on that. That was something that was talked about. All right? And I don't know if everybody else knows that. Okay? But I'm going to put that out there. Okay? Also, some other things I know just from, like, chips. The wait times. You got to wait a shitload of times for these chips. So I understand a little bit when MiG had people waiting.
And
they
for the
did
mods,
take money.
Too. You pretty much got to buy all those shit from China, so you got to wait weeks to get them.
Yo, yeah, and MiG was taking money. Hell yeah, they seen the opportunity, right? They said we got pre-orders. They know that, hey, if we order the amount of chips, let's say I order 10,000, the same chips, right? They being used on multiple devices all over the world. So now the distributor I'm getting them from is saying, hey, you got to wait 6 to 8 weeks, buddy, before we even get you the chips. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many moving pieces with this that typically the people who handle this know what they doing.
You know, you don't need a MigSwitch if you have a Steam Deck. If anything, you want the MiG dumper so that you can start buying Switch games and you can play them as legitimately as possible in your emulators.
Now, if anybody from MigSwitch team watching, hi, Blizzard, I like that. They definitely gonna say they see you, Blizzard. They ain't even to talk about. Hell, as a content creator, I want to change my content to MiG news, more drama than advantage football. Wasteland, hilarious. It's not a scam, but the lack of communication with the customer just put me on edge. John Doe, I love that because I think this was MiG's problem. I think if MiG would just had communication, all this shit would be done.
I bet UnlockSwitch wouldn't have came away so quickly if it wasn't so easy to swoop in and you're filling in a power vacuum, really.
That- Man, you nailed it right there. It's like, imagine you see someone who has a product and that product is gold, and you see they're just dropping the ball left and right. And you can be able to reproduce that product your own way, and all they having a problem with is marketing,
Well,
right?
were we not
So
talking initially about how cool this would be, about how
we
revolutionary
did,
this would be, that we would be able
we
to
did.
play all of our games without needing a mod chip or anything like that. And it would like, think about it. Originally we were like, you're getting, even if you don't care about the flash card, even if you're diehard, like, nope, it's just the mod chip's the only way you can go. Here's the thing: we thought that it was $65 for both, meaning
We
that
did.
at best you're paying double than what you would be paying for a mod chip just for the card. But
Yep.
you got a dumper that could truly do things a mod chip could not do. You can't hook your Switch up, as far as I'm aware, at least, you can't hook your Switch up to your PC, plug in your game card, and then have it accessible like a USB drive. Now, someone could easily make that with Homebrew, but here's the thing: do you really want to have your whole Switch hooked up like that? No. You want a
Nah.
little box that's about a little bit bigger than a micro SD card reader, just plug your games into dedicated. You know what? You might not ever want to buy a Switch, but you want to play them on an emulator because you think that the Switch is just too tacky. But you have a really good gaming PC, so you just buy a MigSwitch dumper, hook it in, or you buy the whole MigSwitch, sell the card to someone, or maybe even if they again had done this in my opinion the right way, you sell it for $35 for the card, $35 for the dumper. You spend
Mm-hmm.
just $35 to get the dumper if you don't even own a Switch, or if you have to buy the bundle, you could sell the card on its own. If someone's card
Bingo.
breaks, or if someone's again on the inverse where they don't care about the dumper because they do have a modded Switch, but when they go back into the normal mode, when they're not actually using custom firmware, they want to play their games online. They want to have the ability to really, you're getting your cake and eating it too. You get to have the ability to have a single SD card with all your games on it. You can put your games in a really safe location where you know that they'll not get lost, and you get to play online and you get to play completely legitimately. And they squander
Facts.
that with changing how the pricing works, changing what you get when you bought it, not having stock available, not being communicative, having resellers that weren't communicative, and not being more on their ass about it, really. UnlockSwitch is here to fill that vacuum because now you're getting the price for the card and the dumper that you originally thought you were getting, a better ejection method, a way to flash the card with a hardware programmer instead of having to do that weird micro SD card method. Which, by the way, if the firmware gets corrupted somehow, it's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
it's
We
not
talk
gonna be able
about
to
that.
read from the SD card. As far as from what I can tell, this programmer is going to put the chip into some sort of DFU mode, which really those don't brick. So you can actually even toy with it, and it's going to be open source. So you take all of that, like this is what the MigSwitch should have been at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day.
Now, Snow's cold, making some points, and I like to play devil's advocate. Snow's cold, so I love it. I love when people try to, we want to get all this shit out in the air. So he said, I'm confused. Unlock Switch didn't take pre-orders on the day they promised because they got exposed. The chips used on the board were from MigSwitch and just put onto new PCBs with MigSwitch source code. Then they came out and said they wouldn't be using those chips anymore, as MigSwitch cut them off and exposed it. Wasn't possible, but before this, they were about to take people's money for this new design. Now, woo, he came through. One thing I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you on Snow's Code, and this is what I agree. And I hate to say it because I ain't got no problem with UnlockSwitch. I ain't MigSwitch. I'm upset because I ain't get the dumper, and then when I email them, be writing back, and then I see I get my source from somebody else who's close to me. That ain't right. That's dirty. That's nasty work, right? But outside of that, UnlockSwitch seem like they're very responsive. So but I agree. UnlockSwitch never addressed it. They never addressed that. That is something we spoke about here. They never stated that this wasn't a MigSwitch unit. None of those things were addressed. I can't admit that, right? I don't know. So I can't say. But they were not addressed, Snow's Cold. So maybe you could be. I don't know. Snow's Cold. I'm not getting into that. All right. But one thing I can say is when that was brought up, that was something we mentioned. They didn't even focus on that. They're moving forward. right? But one thing I can say is that I didn't hear MigSwitch in that email say they're fake again. I didn't hear MigSwitch say that shit again. So obviously they believe it now. You know what I'm saying? They believe it. So speaking of the dumper, I find it hilarious. I was able to plug it into my phone and poorly play my carts on the Android board. Yo, people have been plugging this dumper into everything, bro.
You know, and here's the thing, and I don't know if I said this on the stream or not, or just privately with you, Nick, but the way I see it is, look, the way that UnlockSwitch handled that whole thing with the carts that we got, I think that was a dumb way to do it. But you know what? I think it's the weight that coming up with the idea that they actually secretly delayed it because of the whole exposing thing. If it's true, that's really unfortunate and also really crazy that we effectively stopped a scam.
I
But
know.
that does carry real weight. Unlike a lot of the shit that I say, a lot of the shit that I spew, it doesn't carry real world consequences. It's just for fun. And so I hesitate to make those accusations because of the real weight that they could incur, but also we don't have proof of that being their intentions on the back end. So the
Yeah.
best that we can do is say that they sent those cards out, not understanding the implications of it, but trying to prove a point that they could make hardware, they could release something, and they could release it for cheaper with some additions. They were able to prove that. They proved that they were legit in actually providing something to people, and that they weren't just going to be a talking head on Twitter, and that their real work to come was only going to come later. So, what I'm wondering is, I, I I am leaning a little bit more towards that being their original intention, and they just
I'm with
dropped
you.
the ball on making that clear. Now, you could be correct, but again, that's an accusation with real weight that
It
I don't have
is.
any proof of. And
It's a big one.
I like I said, I want to be pragmatic, and I don't want to just go out flaming people in this scene. Maybe it's better to do that, but there's many types of people in the scene, and there's some people more willing to go on flame wars than others. Nick, you might have some people in mind I'm thinking of. There's people more willing to do that than others. I'm just not that kind of person. I need something a little bit more solid that they were planning a scam
I
than
agree. And that's
than
why we didn't get too much on a flame war, right? We didn't. One thing we could have done, right? At that point, we could have said, "Hey, UnlockSwitch, you're lying. You didn't address it. You didn't tell us. You are on." But one thing is that from our end, we try to play everything with a fair hand, bro. We try our hardest, and it's hard sometimes because you actually do have bonds with some of these people, bro. Like people, they don't understand what we go through, man. Like I want to tell people, they don't understand what we go through. Like you have relationships and business gets involved. There's been relationships damaged,
If,
right? Like
and
because
that's
of all this
this way
shit.
too. How would it unlock Switch if they were fully intending on just selling rebranded mid cards or giving it to reviewers for them to say it's legit so that they could take money? How are they able to spin up a unique design in a month that they're clearly planning on releasing? They came up with an independent dumper. They came up or not dumper
Programmer.
flasher programmer, a independent button design, all that well before Mig did. The only way they would have been able to do that without having their own knowledge and ability to create stuff like this, um, is if they had just gotten info from Mig. And if that kind of corporate espionage is happening, then that is bigger than us. And at that point,
Way bigger than us.
if we found out that happened, I'd pull out of this whole thing if that was the kind of stuff going on. If you believe
Yeah.
you say that people have free time in the basement, but I'm sorry, I believe those pictures are legitimate. I don't think a person in the basement is going to get sheets of chips printed in order to do a scam, because at this point this guy has lost so much more money than he's made. He still hasn't taken a single dime for all of this effort he's put into it.
Yo, I can't stop laughing because all I think about is somebody in the basement. Don't lie. You know how long an hour is in the basement, bro? Like an hour in
Right.
the basement hit different than an hour walk. You know what I'm
This,
saying?
this damn right here.
Yo, yeah. Oh, he is not lying, bro. He is not lying right there. Conspiracy weekend. But Joe, he said free because I ain't gonna lie, man. Somebody in the basement. Yo, Blizzard, you wrong for that, man. That was so funny though. I couldn't do nothing but laugh.
Hey,
Big
wait,
did
and there's nothing wrong with living with their mama.
yeah, and you know what? And that's one thing I'll say. You know, one time, you know, I felt bad. I had said that about one of my friends. Like, you know how you do jokes like, "Oh man, they probably be in the basement, so and so, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Man, you kind of like are talking about me because that was me 2 years ago." And I felt so bad. I was like, "Oh, my bad, man. I ain't," you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to say a joke. I didn't know. Like, he was like, "Nah, bro. I was like jobless in my mom's basement." And I was like, okay, my bad. I didn't know, but it happens. Anybody can be jobless. And I thank God I was fortunate enough to not. But I went back. Hey, when you got to go back to the family home, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. All right. That's what you got family for. Be blessed that you got family. Okay. But nonetheless, man, I think we got off everything. I think that was pretty much all that we had today. We're gonna have more information coming in tomorrow. There's going to be more posts coming up. I know that Unlock said tomorrow they're gonna be posting something, so we should be seeing something from Unlock. As far as us, we try to take the stance of we are here for you guys, right? We're not here just strictly like shilling Unlock and MigSwitch products or whoever else. We are here for you guys. We want to be able to answer your questions. Yeah, exactly. We want to be able to answer your questions. Any questions you have for us, just ask us. I don't care what the hell it's about. It can be about anything. Okay, anything. I want it asked because we want to be able to give those answers to you guys. So everybody who was here, who was commenting, asking those questions, I cannot thank you guys enough. Appreciate it. Keeps the conversation going. Dr. Specimen, you got anything else?
If I talk anymore, my throat's gonna bleed. Speaking of bleeding, download Mother Russia Bleeds. That game's great.
See, that's a good one. Yo, I tell you, this is one thing I heard, man. And I'm going to say, my daughter said this. Kids are ignorant, man. She was watching something, and she said, this girl said on the YouTube video, she said, "I'm so hungry, my butt is jiggling." And I was done. I said, these kids are different. You know what I'm saying? These kids are different, man. That sounds like some stupid shit that I would have heard when I was growing up. But nonetheless, I had to say that, man. So other than that, y'all, I appreciate everybody. Yuri, Wasteland, Joe, Blizzard, I see Shane, Snows Cold, John Doe, who else? Petrix. Nick Mo, Dr. Specimen, Mom Dukes, Chelsea, John 5. Neo. There we go. Neo popped in too.
My half brother's cousin, second sister.
Half brother, second cousin, sister, auntie, uncle came through. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely appreciate all y'all, man. If y'all have any questions, anything, just let us know, man. Really, I'm telling you, I dearly appreciate this shit from the bottom of my heart, man. I know Dr. Specimen too. We're trying to grow this platform to bring you guys more content, man. And Dr. Specimen, I had to say this for everybody to know, man. You have been a blessing to the channel, man. We want to continue having your content. I encourage you to, like I say, put up videos. You guys have been seeing more videos of Dr. Specimen by itself. We are going to be doing more content. I want to have Dr. Specimen have his own playlist, right, of content that he specifically wants to do. Nothing with me. It might be some shit that I don't even give a shit about, right?
Nick, I gotta one up you a little bit, man.
Go ahead.
You've been a blessing to my life. I'm not even gonna lie.
See, thank you, man. Likewise, man. And that's where the mutual. That's why y'all.
You want to talk about sucking up, Magnus? Beat me on that. Hey, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But seriously,
that sounds like fucking getting stabbed in the throat.
Yo. But seriously, man, you know, that's why I had to say that, man. So we just trying to keep the content going. 2 snaps are twisted. You're y'all bugging, man. But seriously, man, we just trying to keep the content coming, man. And, you know, as long as y'all here, man, and we just going to keep putting on. So I thank everybody. But yeah, other than that, we out. And I appreciate everybody. Holla, holla.